Morgan Rogers to Arsenal, shocking new price set video is powered by Think Landscaping. Think Landscaping, they do design, they do plan, they do transform your beautiful spaces, especially outdoor spaces, into your dream look in there for you. And now as we speak, you can call them on those numbers and WhatsApp them because you will be the happiest. And I've gone ahead to give you the deal of the summer and the deal of the year. I tell you, you won't regret. With Think Landscaping, all is gonna be right and firm in there for you. So, welcome to the Rokani Media Football. How are you guys? And where are you watching us from? I go by the names of Rokani David. Smash like button, comment, and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. 3-in-1 video. We are talking Morgan Rogers. 2, we are talking Nicolas Jackson's future. And 3, we are obviously discussing a very important topic about Matheus Fernandes. Speaking out after signing for Tottenham Hotspur, Matheus Fernandes, who was expected to sign for Man United. Spurs hijacked the deal. United were like, he's not worth 85 million pounds. They would rate him for 65 million pounds, and he left for a club known as Tottenham Hotspur there for you. Continue to subscribe to our channel because we want to hit the magic number of 30,000 subscribers. And where are we at right now? We are having like 80 subscribers left to hit 29,500. So please do the due diligence. Lower left bottom corner, smash the black button that has the word subscribe. After smashing it, hit the notification bell. That will enable you get notified every time I upload a video onto this beautiful channel of ours. And you guys are the reason as to why we are always here to obviously bring you content that will obviously excite you every other day that really passes by. So right now, I want to let you know that transfers have turned expensive. And now, the first transfer to be done that is going to hit to break the British record of Elliot Anderson to Man City that costed close to 130 million pounds has been seen as the yardstick for every player. Because when you look at midfielders, defensive midfielders, if they go for that amount of money, we all know to it that the most expensive players in the world are forwards. Now, if a central defensive midfielder can go for that much, now, how much do you think the forward player should go for? That can be used as a yardstick to see to it that they obviously mend everything on well in there for you. So, Matt Law, credible journalist who works for the Daily Telegraph, has told us that Aston Villa value Morgan Rogers at a British record 130 million pounds and have no intention of selling the England international for any less. Villa believe Rogers is worth even more than his England teammate Elliot Anderson, who recently agreed a 116 million pound move to Man City. In the current market, they rate Morgan Rogers at 130 million pounds, higher than the British record fee Liverpool paid Newcastle for Alexandra Isak last summer. So, I want to let you know that they are not lying. And I came here and I really said it earlier before that if Arsenal don't get the deal of Morgan Rogers done before Man City seal the deal of Elliot Anderson, it will come to affect their deal of Morgan Rogers. And what is going to have to happen? Now, we are now being told that they value this guy for 130 million pounds. Guaranteed fees for the deal of Elliot was 116 and add-ons were 14 million pounds in there for you. So, as it stands right now, Morgan Rogers is being eyed by everyone, but the price has been set there for you. Now, the other factor that is going to hit to drive this crazy is the other midfielders on the market. And I really now understand why Arsenal were like, at least we'd rather go in for Marcus Rashford. Because for Rashford, at 40 million pounds, they would obviously get the player. You understand? So right now, the market is crazy. It's stupid crazy, I tell you, because if you are to spend 130 on Morgan Rogers, all other players you want to bring in through, teams will be like, oh, you've gone ahead to spend 130 million pounds on Morgan Rogers, and we do believe that this player has more quality than Morgan Rogers. Obviously, it will call in for a lot of money to be paid. So, as it stands, I tell you, Morgan Rogers and other players are really going to be very expensive, I tell you. Because Arsenal pulled out of the rest of Sandro Tonali because Newcastle wanted £100 million. And guess what? Spurs swept in, and yesterday they paid that amount of money, and Morgan Rogers Sandro Tonali is now a player for a club called, what's the name? For a club called Tottenham Hotspur. And all those precedences set will obviously strengthen teams like Aston Villa. They will be like, all right, a team will come in through and obviously pay this amount of. And I tell you, a team will come and pay £130 million for Morgan Rogers. That is it. Because he's a forward and he's an English player. You know? And the more Arsenal dilly-dally around, you know, and a team will come in through sweeping and obviously sign this player. That is it. I tell you, this transfer market is yet to go crazy. I know for the deal of Elliott, it has gone ahead to go crazy, but for Morgan Rogers, it's yet to go fucking stupid crazy, I tell you. Because we are just in July. We still have 29 days left for July, or 30. 20, let's count 29. And then we do have other 32 days left. The full month of August and that first day of September, you know. So, for everybody, for everyone who at any one point thinks that we have yet seen money being splashed on a player like Elliott, and he or she is like, it's done business, no players obviously going to come out of it, break the record, I tell you, we still have players in this market that will see their price go north every other time they obviously delay being signed. And those that are really performing at the World Cup, you'll see what will happen. Look at Bakola. Bakola's price will increase because of his performances. Buwadi Ayub. He's another one that very many other teams are really looking at. And he is really a very good player that has gone ahead, obviously, do the needful in there for you. So, before the World Cup, they wanted 70 million euros. Now, they've gone ahead to increase the price of the lad from 85 million euros. Sorry, they've taken the price to 85 and 100. Now, if Ayub Buwadi goes ahead to go to the quarterfinals and advances and keeps playing, he will go to 120 million euros, I tell you. That is because he's a quality player. Clubs have been scouting him. So it shows you that the longer you take without signing a player, and there is a tournament where these players obviously showcasing, the tougher it will become for you, I tell you. So we wait and see what Arsenal is obviously going to be doing for Morgan Rogers. But indeed, Morgan Rogers is one of those players that obviously Arsenal really want, and he is the priority signing for the club of Arsenal. It was Sandro Tonali at first, now it's Morgan Rogers, and I told you why Sandro Tonali was out of the equation, because of the coming in through of a player known as Miles Lewis-Kelly being looked at, a player who will come in through and obviously do a lot of work in that midfield next season for the club of Arsenal. Now, we do have another one in here for you on this Morgan Rogers valuation. Simon Phillips. He says, Aston Villa's £130 million valuation of Morgan Rogers might just be an attempt by them to raise the negotiation ceiling and hold on to the player, as it doesn't make sense for any club to pay that amount of money. Now, if you think it doesn't make sense for a club to pay that amount of money, then football is not meant for you. Let me give you an example. I've lived here long enough, but I won't take you way back. Let me take you to the season where Arsenal went ahead to sign Declan Rice. When Arsenal was signing Declan Rice, Man City was in the equation, and City made a bid, and I think they stopped at £95 million. Now, anyone would think that Declan Rice couldn't cost £105 million, but Arsenal came in through and paid £105 million. You understand? To sign who? Declan Rice. Now, when Brighton was like, they want £116 million for Moise Caicedo, people thought it was a laugh. And it was like a joking matter. A Brighton player who has just gone ahead to have 2 beautiful consecutive seasons, how dare he cost £116 million? Liverpool made a bid. The player said, I'm not going to Liverpool. I'm going to a team known as Chelsea. You understand? And Chelsea paid that much to bring in that player. Elliot Anderson, just weeks ago, people were like, teams can't pay that amount of money. Not until Man City went ahead to put in a bid of £120 million, and it got turned down by the side of Nottingham Forest. You understand? That's when people thought, hey, it's really possible. Now, for Morgan Rogers, if Elliot Anderson, who is a midfielder and is not an attacking midfielder, is costing £116 million to 130, what makes you think that teams cannot pay £130 million for this guy? Liverpool last season brought in 2 players for that match. Alexandre Isak went in through for that amount of money. Now, Wits, transfer fee to Liverpool, how much was it? £116 million, you know? So, all I want to let you know that a lot can happen. And I really feel for this guy who says that it doesn't make sense for any club to pay that amount of money for Morgan Rogers. Let me tell you, if you think it doesn't make sense, the big question is, don't we have players in the Premier League who have gone ahead to cost that much? That is the question you have to ask yourself and then give yourself an answer. You know, Morgan Rogers is an English player. If Liverpool paid £130 million for Alexandre Isak, who is not English, what makes you think clubs can't go in for an English player who is like Morgan Rogers? Because if I ask you, how many players in the Premier League are English and are like Morgan Rogers and are at his age? How many can you tell me? So, what makes these players like Elliot expensive, the Alex Scotts of this world, the Morgan Rogers? They are English and they've gone ahead to cream themselves out of, or sieve themselves out of the many English players as special players in there for you. That's what I can tell you. So please, don't ever come out and really say that they don't see it as something sensible. My dear, teams are going to spend money, and we are yet to see teams spending money in here onto the Rokani Media Football. So I don't believe in the guy. I don't believe in him because I know teams will spend money. Now, Bayern Munich has officially come out and confirmed to us that Nicolas Jackson returns to Chelsea with immediate effect after buy clause non-triggered. Bayern decided months ago, see the €50 million buy option as too expensive, despite company happy with Nico. Chelsea will now decide on his future. Now, this guy, when he goes back to Chelsea, I think he can be given another chance by Xabi Alonso. That's what is running in my mind. And I do believe that he can really do that to the fullest. Because at first, you go all out and ask, what is Chelsea looking for? Chelsea are having 3 forwards right now. Yao Pedro, 1. Liam. Is Liam who? Whom they bought from Ipswich. And then Nicolas Jackson returns. When you look at João Pedro, he's a player who can play in multiple positions as a left forward, right forward, number 10, and he can also play as a central attacking midfielder in there for you. So that is the player we're talking about. So Xabi Alonso will need to make a decision because he's obviously going to be playing in the Premier League, FA Cup, and Carabao Cup. So almost one game per week. And I saw most of their games will be played on Monday. So Xabi Alonso will have to sit down and make this decision. This decision will need a lot of remorse, will need a lot of thinking on who is going to be his lead striker, right? And who is going to be his second striker. And if he makes a decision that his lead striker will be João Pedro, that means on Liam Delap, I've gotten the name, Liam Delap and Nicolas Jackson, one will have to leave. That is it. And for Chelsea calling out for 55 million euros for this guy, I think they did something wrong for themselves as a club of Chelsea. Why? There is a season where Nicolas Jackson at Chelsea went ahead to score very many goals. And I think that's when they would have gone to obviously call in for that amount of money. They want to make huge profit from the sale of this guy. When he was at Chelsea, in his first season, 14 goals, 5 assists in 35 games. 2024-2025, 30 games, 10 goals, and 5 assists. I think this is when they would have gone to obviously sell him. But when he was at Bayern Munich, 23 games, 8 goals, Champions League, 10 games, 3 assists. I think he hasn't gone ahead to put in huge evidence that his price could skyrocket to go that side in there for you. But I 100% believe they'll find a solution. And Alonso will obviously tell him whether he's part of his plans or not. That's what I 100% know about this. So let's wait and see what decision will be taken. Matheus Fernandes is the new shirt number 18 for the side of Tottenham Hotspur. And indeed, they've gone ahead to obviously unveil him as a player. That is the guy. He has been given shirt number 18 and Spurs have gone ahead to obviously do this deal quick. Very, very quick. Matheus Fernandes, new Spurs number 18 after £85 million move completed. And this is what he said. I'm very excited for this next step. Spurs is a massive club and Deserbi was a key part of why I have decided to join. When we spoke, it was very special. We look at football in the same way. So, Spurs pushed in, and all what they could offer was to break the bank and really get in the player. Sandro Tonali has just traveled from, Tonali has traveled from Italy to obviously go ahead and really join Spurs. His medical is on today, and he will be doing his medical. After his medical, he'll be unveiled as a player for the side of Tottenham Hotspur. And it has going to happen quick. Why? Because a lot of things are really coming in play. You understand? A lot of things are coming in play, and they want to obviously start their preseason in there for you. By the end of this week, very many teams will obviously be back into the training session, what we call the preseason, and Spurs will be welcoming 2 geniuses, obviously, Sandro Tonali and Matheus Fernandes. So, as it stands, they've gone ahead to get in their guy, and that midfield of Sandro Tonali and Matheus Fernandes, that double pivot. What do you think about it? So guys, your thoughts on Morgan Rogers to Arsenal? New price set are welcome in the comment section below. Do you think he's worth £130 million? And would you advise Arsenal to obviously go in for him? Yes or no? Then also come up and really tell us what you think about Nicolas Jackson's future at Chelsea and what viable decision should Alonso make in there for you. Because when you look at the numbers of Liam Delap, I think Nicolas Jackson has performed better? Your thoughts on all this are welcome in the comment section below. Rokani David remains my name, and thank you for watching us. And we are proudly powered by Think Landscaping. And if you want to know about what Think does, they design, they plan, they transform your outdoor spaces into your dream outdoor space look in there for you. Compounds, gardens, and so on and so forth. So call them on those numbers and you'll thank me later that Rokani, you gave us a deal of the year. I'm out. Bye-bye. See you later.